You ever look at your paycheck, see a pretty good number, and then glance at your bank account at the end of the month and just wonder, where did it all go? It feels like the money just sort of vanishes into thin air. Well, I'm here to tell you, it's not random. There's a system at play, a system designed to make that happen. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how it works. It is such a frustrating feeling, isn't it? I mean, on paper, you're doing everything right. You might even be earning more than your parents ever did. But that feeling of actually being secure, it's just not there. It feels like you're always one unexpected car repair, one surprise bill, away from real trouble. It just doesn't add up. And I really want to be crystal clear about something. If this sounds familiar, it is not your fault. This feeling is the direct result of a system I call the salary trap. And the second you understand how it operates, that's the moment you get the power to actually break out of it. So how does this trap get set in the first place? Well, it all starts with a very, very convincing illusion. The illusion that you're financially secure, even when you're really just treading water. Let's look at a real-world example to see what I mean. So let's talk about Sarah. Now, if you just look at her stats, you'd think she has it made. $85,000 a year? I mean, that puts her in the top 20% of earners in the entire country. She should feel wealthy, but she doesn't, not even a little bit. And we're about to see exactly why. All right, so Sarah gets paid every 2 weeks. After taxes, this is the number that actually lands in her bank account. $2,458. Seems like a good chunk of change, right? But you're about to see just how fast it disappears. And here's the first part of the trap in action. That $2,400 isn't one big decision she gets to make. No, it's 1,000 tiny decisions that have already been made for her. Just look at this breakdown. $1,200 for rent, boom, gone. $550 for her car and just getting to work, $400 for groceries, another $260 for all the bills and subscriptions. Before Sarah even has a chance to think about saving or investing, her paycheck has been completely carved up. So after all of those essential non-negotiable expenses are paid, this is what Sarah has left for the next 2 weeks. $48. That's it. For a dinner out, for a movie, for an emergency, for savings, for her entire life outside of just surviving. It's practically nothing. And this, right here, is the illusion of prosperity at its most brilliant. See, Sarah has all the trappings of success. She's got a decent apartment, a reliable car, she's eating well. The system gives her just enough comfort to keep her from getting angry. It keeps her from asking the most dangerous question of all. Hey, why isn't my $85,000 salary actually making me wealthy? So that's how the trap is set. But what is it that keeps you from just walking away? Well, the next part of the system is even more clever. It's all about psychology. You've probably heard this term before, right? Lifestyle inflation. But we seriously underestimate just how powerful it is. I mean, think about it. The last time you got a raise, what was your first thought? A better apartment? A new car? A nicer vacation? That's the instinct the trap totally relies on. And here's the big mental shift you have to make. We think of it as lifestyle progression. But that's not what's happening at all. It's obligation progression. You're not just upgrading your life, you're upgrading your required monthly payments. You think you're gaining freedom with that bigger paycheck? It's a mirage. You're actually losing flexibility because now your baseline cost to just exist is way higher. And that is the cruel genius of this whole system. Every pay raise feels like a win, like you're getting ahead. But what's really happening is that a pair of golden handcuffs is just getting a little bit tighter. You lock yourself into that bigger mortgage, that fancier car payment, and suddenly the thought of quitting that job you might not even like, it becomes impossible. The salary that was supposed to give you options has actually taken them all away. Listen, this might be the single most important sentence in this entire explainer. Your freedom is not your income, it's the gap, the space between what you earn and what you spend. A CEO making $500,000 a year who spends $499 is just as trapped as anyone else. Real freedom lives in that surplus, and the entire system is designed to shrink that gap down to zero. So, what's the end result of all this? What does it actually feel like to live day to day inside this trap? Well, let's take a look at the stark reality for millions and millions of people. I'm going to ask you a really direct question, and I want you to be totally honest with yourself for a second. If your paycheck just stopped coming in tomorrow, how long could you actually survive? How many months could you pay your rent, your mortgage, your bills before everything just fell apart? 1 month? 2? Maybe less? If that question made you a little uncomfortable, you are definitely not alone. Look at this number. Over 60% of professionals can't make it a single month without a paycheck. Just let that sink in. Most of the people we look at as successful are living perpetually 30 days away from financial disaster. So let's just stop using words like stability or security to describe this situation. Let's call it what it really is: a comfortable prison. It's a gilded cage, because when you absolutely need that next paycheck just to survive, you lose all your leverage. You can't quit the toxic job. You can't take a risk on a new business idea. You can't afford to get sick. You become a predictable, manageable cog in a much larger machine. Okay, that was the grim part, I know. But here's the most important thing to understand. This trap only works if you don't know you're in it. The moment you see the bars, you can start looking for the key. This is not a life sentence. So let's talk about how to break free. The very first step, the absolute foundation, is a huge shift in how you think about money. Your whole life, you've been taught to chase a bigger income. We have to stop. The goal is not income, the goal is wealth. Income is the hamster wheel. It's what you trade your precious time for. Wealth is what you own. It's the assets that earn money for you while you sleep. Income keeps you working for money. Wealth makes money work for you. So, here it is, the escape plan. It's 4 simple, but let's be honest, not always easy steps. Step 1, redefine your goal. Stop chasing a bigger salary and start obsessing over building assets. Step 2, attack the gap. You have to consciously and aggressively fight to keep optionality. Your number 1 mission is to build an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of living expenses. That fund isn't just money. It is your get-out-of-jail-free card. Ultimately, the goal isn't just to climb another rung on the salary ladder. The real goal is to build a bridge to a place where you are completely 100% independent of your next paycheck. That is the only definition of financial freedom that truly matters. Because the moment you don't need the job, your power in the world changes completely. So I'm going to leave you with this one last question. The salary trap is so effective because, let's face it, it's comfortable. The cage is gilded. But you have to ask yourself, is that comfort costing you your freedom? Is it worth your ability to choose your own path in life? Now that you've seen the trap, what are you going to do about it?